Do some math here for a second. We're in the 11th month of the year. So that means 8 months ago, we sat here and talked about everything is shutting down. And we could repeat that whole episode and it'll be relevant.
See you next week, everybody.
Let's go watch episode
It was very soon.
20.
Yeah, it was not even 20.
It'll be the same exact thing. We're back to it. And we're not complaining about it. Just stating the obvious. We're back to it. It could be draining emotionally. It could be frustrating. But we're almost there, right? I don't think we anticipate a third wave. We didn't anticipate the first one, though.
We didn't. They did say there was going to be a spike in the winter. In the fall time / winter. So here we are. We're back.
And it makes sense. When people started getting back together, the numbers are going to go up.
Yeah.
What's crazy is that they were saying the numbers like it's up as they were before, though. Like we're seeing numbers like from the very first wave. Mm-hmm. More towards the west. So that's good for us in the east. But it's wild that this thing is around for a while longer, man. This virus is alive and it's refusing to die. And they had said from the very beginning, this is just going to be part of a way of life in terms of you're just going to live with the virus and it's going to be another vaccine you get on a yearly basis. So it'll be managed and stuff like that. But there's no such thing as this going away and there's a cure for it because there's no cure for the flu or even a common cold right now. We should both kind of been like scratchy throats and kind of change of weather.
I think that change of weather and allergies here in Virginia will do that to you. Here's something crazy, man, and the viewers here locally will understand what's going on. In less than 24 hours, the public school system announced, hey, guess what? It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., all of the children in Virginia Beach will now be going 100% virtual. There were kids that were still being virtual, but a large number of families and children are back to school and have been back to the school for the last 2 months. And here we are. Can you imagine? I mean, my wife texted me and was like, hey, I heard word from a coworker that works in the school system that we're going 100% virtual tomorrow morning. I looked at the clock. I'm like, it's after lunchtime. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? And I called her. She was like, yeah. And I was like, well, I mean, they can't just do that. Yes, they can. Yes, they absolutely can. And so countless numbers of families were, really put out. Super put out. I mean, it is what it is, right? They're trying to do what they feel is in the best interests of the children and, you know what I mean, in this pandemic. And I do not envy that problem that they have to try to navigate. That's tough. There's no good, perfect answer here.
There isn't, but, in hindsight's 2020. We try to be optimistic and positive. But if the governor said on Thursday or Friday, whatever it was, that the groups are going to be reduced to 25, then Thursday or Friday, there should have been an emergency meeting. Mm-hmm. And you work through the weekend if you have to, so that you can announce on Saturday, or Sunday. I get it. Nobody works on Sunday. But
maybe there were meetings. We don't know. I don't know. I'm not on the school board. They might have met. I'm sure there was some kind of meetings happening over the weekend. But the fact that we waited until less than 24 hours and gave families that little
it was just a weird time to do it, too. Like, it wasn't even Monday.
It was in the middle of the week. It was like I said, it wasn't even in the morning. It was like, hey, guys, good morning. Unfortunately, tomorrow morning. It was like 1, 2 in the afternoon, and then it didn't officially come out until like 3 or 4. Mm-hmm. I mean, imagine all of the daycare centers here in Virginia Beach where everybody disenrolled because public school was back 2 months ago. And now overnight, I can't even imagine. I gotta call my friend Tiffany, who owns a local child care facility here locally. I'd love to hear what that's been like. I can't even imagine how insane the last 48 hours have been.
What you do is you call out of work, and then you're left with the problem of it depends where you work. Mm-hmm. Because coming from the experiences that we have had in different sectors of the job market. Some places don't accept that. Some places look at you like you're crazy. Like, what do you mean you're not coming in? Yeah, I get that you have a kid or whatnot, but there's chicken that got to be fried. There's shelves that got to be stocked. This is the reality for a lot of people. We can go into the highbrow, what do you call that? It's almost like a cavalier attitude where it's like, go find another job, go whatever.
Yeah.
The reality is some people do work, and you would not like that, but this is the truth, that some people work in places where if you call out for whatever reason, you're looked at crazy, you're given a hard time. On top of the fact that now you're just dealing with the fact that you got to find somewhere to put your kid. it's a lot to add to now the stress of like, you might not even like your job to begin with. You're already dealing with the stress of just, I'm not 100% happy with my particular job. Now it's like, where do I put my kid? Now I got to deal with my supervisor who's giving me the side eye, who's giving me huffs and puffs and playing with my hours now. And well, you couldn't be here, so we're going to adjust the schedule for next week. These are real things that happen. It's not even hypotheticals. Because in their mind, it's like, well, if I can't count on you because you got a kid, I'll just give your hours to somebody else.
3 in the afternoon. 3 in the afternoon. I want you to unearth everything. And by tomorrow morning, it's virtual. And they better be logged in.
Yeah, it's either stay home with your kid.
There had
stay
to be
home with your kid, don't make money, so then you can't feed the kid that you're staying home to teach him.
There had to be a crazy amount of people that
of course
that missed work.
There was a lot of people that just missed work. I'm not going into
like, well, what do you do?
And I'm gonna need a couple days to figure out where he's going, because that's not a decision either. You don't just throw your kid wherever there's availability.
That's I thank you for saying that.
Like, you don't do that.
It's a very important decision, and the fact that even a week, it's like, oh my God.
Yeah, no, can I not go scout? Can I not go visit places? Can I not? Yeah, you should have thought about it. Again, it goes back to the meme, but it's just true. People that are living paycheck to paycheck are expected to have contingency plans for everything, but billion-dollar corporations and trillion-dollar corporations, they get bailouts.
Bailout like this for the first sign of trouble.
Immediately. The general public is still waiting for a second stimulus while the corporations got their bailout months ago.
So VBCPS put this out, and now the governor spoke, and now all of a sudden, hey, guess what? No more toilet paper. We're freaking back to this now. Now we're back to this here in our town.
There's no toilet paper, no wipes, no milk.
Are you kidding me,
Did you find milk? I couldn't find milk.
Did we learn nothing?
Couldn't find milk.
Did we learn nothing?
Yeah, are you getting hungrier? Are you drinking more? Like, I don't. There was enough. There was enough the other 365 days a year for everyone.
What is it?
Like, there's no. It's a mental thing, dude. It's a mental. It's a panic
all of a
mode.
sudden, I'm taking about 49 dumps a day. And I'm gonna need a pallet worth of freaking toilet paper for the next 2 weeks, because I'm telling you, I'm burning through it. I'm burning through it,
None
dude.
of the symptoms is diarrhea either.
Dude,
so
this
what
is
are we talking
nuts,
about?
man. I just, it's this herd mentality. These sheep. I hate when people are sheeple, but it's so funny to me, man. It's like, really, we're back to this. We're back to it. I could maybe understand a little bit, but like, hey, stores, limit 1 per customer. The moment I'm a manager, the moment I see that crap happening again, I go, oh, okay, hey, emergency team meeting. Hey, everybody, we're putting up signs. It's limit 1 per customer. It's that simple, man. Come on. Round 2 of this crap.
And I've been real disappointed how the supply chains have been handled across everything, dude. Across toilet paper, across video game consoles.
Dude, how about what happened to you recently?
In 2020, supply chains has just happened to this. What happened to me recently?
The USPS. Losing a bunch of crap.
Oh, yeah. Just simple stuff. Just a simple order from Amazon. Just lost. And let me tell you something about Amazon. Side note. Excuse me. For being the biggest company in the world, and for Jeff Bezos being the richest person on the planet, why can't I get somebody on Amazon on the phone? Maybe I can. Just somebody school me on where you're supposed to call to get somebody on the phone. Because how is it that stuff can happen and your best recourse is to email just a complaint? Like, you should be able to get somebody on the phone and say, I need a customer service rep to track my package and tell me where it's at right now.
Yeah.
But you can't do that.
I've
had an issue. This was years ago. I got a product that arrived damaged. I couldn't find a way, and I'm a tech-savvy person.
You're very, very much.
I could not find a way at all to speak to somebody on the phone to just tell them my package arrived damaged. What can I do about it? The only thing I could do was leave a negative review and then email Amazon. Got no reply back. Got nothing back for the review. Got nothing back for the email. And it was like, oh, so if you order something from Amazon and it's broke,
good luck.
You either try to return it, which some people say the return policy is good, but it's like, if you don't notice it till 2-3 days later, whatever. The bottom line is, I don't understand why you can't get somebody on the phone on a company this big. But yes, the logistics has been a nightmare.
It's been so
We knew
bad.
that was going to happen. But you know what? That's not even a COVID thing. That's a 2020 thing. We've been moving towards this type of logistics
online distribution, online shopping. Yeah, come on. This is nothing new.
This whole generation. It's like the last 20 years, really, if you think about it, has been shifting. Go look at the history of the brick and mortar stores shutting down left and right. Blockbuster Video. This was how many years ago?
Dude, this is 15 years ago, 20 years ago.
So for more than 20 years now, we've been... This is not an opinion thing. It's been very obvious. The commerce has been moving to electronic commerce.
E-commerce, man.
For the longest. People are not trying to leave their house to go wander around in malls. Malls have been shutting down across the United States left and right. All that to say that why in 2020 do we have the logistic issues, the supply chain issues we still have?
Yeah.
Maybe somebody working in that field could school us, but I know a little bit about it because I worked parallel to some supply chain guys. I know it can be complicated, but when you really want something, you work it out.
Yeah.
There's money at stake, money being lost left and right. I don't get it. The silly stuff like even the PlayStation. Why can't people just take orders for that now? Why are we playing this game of just having people fight each other left and right?
Don't get me started on this crap,
click on this website, like, and that goes for everything too. Like, just any big release of anything, a movie, a video game. In 2020, you got to be on your phone 24/7. You've got to refresh 30 different pages, and you got to be like looking nonstop, and then you got to jump in as quickly as you can because I don't get it. It's like, oh no, it's sold out. Is it really sold out? In 2020, we can't just create a list of just who wanted it and who paid for it.
Let's talk a little bit about the whole Sony launch. So Tony is alluding to, well, not just the Sony PlayStation 5, the new console that's out, but like you mentioned, it's all kinds of crap. Sony decided, in their infinite wisdom, that there will only be online sales of the new PlayStation 5. Only. You cannot go to a store and go to a shelf and grab one.
Even though they have them in the stores right now.
They literally have them, but you can't go do that. So now you have to go like this. And there are release windows. Like today there's one happening. And so what you got to sit there and hit refresh, buy. And hopefully the entire world, by the way, is doing what you're doing at that moment. This is ridiculous, dude. It's just so silly to me. I'd love to get a PlayStation 5. Couldn't get one. I had a buddy online. Got one. And he was like, yeah, I'm trying to get a few more with little devil horns. I'm like, you're part of the problem. These guys just scalping these freaking things, dude. Funny, my goodness.
But and you know what's funny? Yes, that's.
Come on, Sony, do something about it.
Yeah, no, the supplier, man, the supplier.
Do something about it.
Is there a material shortage of silicone on the planet, plastic, whatever these consoles are made of? Is there a shortage of this material on the earth?
No, there's not.
I guess you can make the argument that with remote work and COVID and all this stuff, depending on where you live, because they're over in Asia making them, right? Mm-hmm. I don't think they've moved their production to America ever, have they?
I don't know. I'm not too sure. I don't think so.
So I think their production is in Asia, and they got hit harder by COVID. And maybe there was some kind of social distancing. Maybe that did impact it for real. In the general sense, we never gone that rabbit hole. The thing is, though, you guys knew this little thing was coming out for years now. There's no reason it had to come out now and create chaos in this thing, too. It could have come out, 2021.
Everybody would have been totally fine if they just skipped 2020 release window and say, hey, guys, due to COVID. And everyone would have been like, you know what? Totally get it. We'll see you next year when it's ready.
And those are first world problems. But
yeah, right.
And it applies to other things, though, like the toilet paper and stuff like that. Like,
dude, it's so silly.
Like, this stuff is coming, so why not just put it out? And
limit one per customer, baby.
It's funny.
That's all you got to do.
Disney does a similar thing, and they play on the emotions of people when they vault movies. Mm. So they'll say, like, The Lion King is going to be vaulted. Get it now before it goes back in the vault. And then, like, 3 years later, it's going to be released from the vault for a limited time.
A limited edition re-release Blu-ray special edition with brand new 4K behind-the-scenes features.
Yeah, no, they're good at playing with people's emotions, and I wish that wasn't part of marketing, but we fall for it every time. We're good at being programmed, right? Yeah, that's why it's called TV programming.
Yeah, it's. Hello.
What do you think they're doing to you every day?
Yeah, man.
They're getting you susceptible and playing with your emotions and telling you need this. It's never like, hey, this is a great option. It's you absolutely need this or else your life is horrible. Your life sucks if you don't have this product.
My favorite, I'm telling you right now, this is a little known fact about me. It's kind of silly. I love infomercials. I love watching, like, the latest vacuum from Dyson. I'll sit there late at night and just be like, wow. And I'll sit there for an hour and a half and watch this thing.
My floors are looking real dirty. I wish I had a Dyson.
I'm telling you, we just got the brand new. The hell is this thing called?
Bissell?
Oh my gosh.
Dyson?
It's
Hoover?
a Bissell. It's a Bissell.
Bissell's good.
Crosswave. The Bissell Crosswave. So it's a hard floor. You can, dude. The infomercial is like a dad like whoa and drops an entire 2-gallon thing of milk on the floor, and they're like, dude, calm down. Bissell Crosswave. And just goes right over that bad boy. So I'm really excited about it. But
can't wait.
Yeah, I wrote some papers in college about my passion for those kinds of commercials. But the advertising is so funny. It's so funny. Have you ever tried to lift these giant bowling balls? Never lose suction at the hose. And it's sucking bowling balls up these gerbil hamster tubes. And you're like, I got to get this. Dude, I got to lift my bowling balls with this Dyson vacuum. But I know what you're saying. Like, it's just so funny how
3 days into it, it doesn't have any suction due to the lid.
I will say this. My Dyson has never lost suction at the hose, and I'm sucking up everything.
How long have you had
I'm
it?
like Bree's like almost 3 years now.
Good.
And it's like man, Bree's hair ties, suck them up, Cheerios,
You're supposed to
Legos.
pick those up, but all right, I get it.
Never loses. Suction at the hose. Never loses.
guy's
Yeah,
just
but
like-
anyway, Dyson. Get a Dyson.
Controllers, everything, just
Yeah.
I don't pick anything up anymore.
Dirty clothes.
I got the extension for a reason. I don't even bend over. Just
Oh man, dude, spiders.
you got the
Socks.
the 10-foot wand at the end of your.
And it's got the ball. It's got that ball, so you can just I'm everywhere with that thing. Anyway, we got the new Bissell. Very excited about the Bissell Crosswave.
That's funny.
My son literally goes, "Do you want me to spill some milk?" Like to try it out. And I was like, "Yes." No, I'm
Did
just
you?
joking. No.
I say, how about
He
you
spills enough
how about
on
you start with
accident.
water or something?
Yeah,
Milk
no.
gets sticky?
Well, because he saw the commercial and it's,
Yeah.
it's so funny. But yeah, dude, the media, man, the media.
Yeah, no.
They'll tell you how terrible it is. I'll tell you that. It's awful out there, people. It is awful. By the way, we had a presidential election. It's terrible out there. It's the end of the world, everybody. It's the end of the world. No matter what the outcome was, it was going to be the end of the world. And by the way, I thought COVID was going away after the election. Isn't that what everybody was saying? I thought it was going away after the election. What happened? COVID didn't get the memo.
Well, the social distancing concerns have fluctuated in the last 6 months. They have. We've seen that.
Yeah.
From different crowds being allowed to, when the protests were kind of allowed and it was like stand
It's
down.
very regional, too. A lot of it's
back and
very
forth,
regional.
One day it's social distancing, one day it's not.
One day masks do nothing, the next masks do everything.
This is across the board with everybody, though. Everybody. I mean, if you go back historically, even the Dr. Fauci, who it was live and die by, but it was back and forth on does he know what he's talking about? Does he not know what he's talking about?
Yeah, well,
depends where you get your source from.
And it's funny, Fauci was like, well, I was presented with new information, and my scientific opinion has changed. And it's like, oh, a human being, got it.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the mask, though, your scientific opinion really shouldn't change because it applies particles are particles, right?
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't, you shouldn't
the
be
way,
presented with a brand new thing that changed your mind on a mask.
I'll tell you,
Like,
it makes me feel good waking up every day knowing that on social media I got a lot of people that know a lot of stuff about science and masks and health and this virus. I appreciate it because I got all these doctors. All my friends are a lot of doctors on Facebook that know a lot about particles and distancing. They know all the rules. They know everything. They know how effective things are. It's really nice to see everybody's professional scientific opinion on it. It's nice. It's good. It makes me feel good.
I think everybody does that. Everyone does that. Like
As vocally and
everybody's
as just aggressively as some people are doing. Come on, man. It's just wild. It's just wild.
People don't like to be wrong.
No, they don't.
They don't like to be wrong.
They don't.
And it's never.
People don't like to lose either.
I don't know. I've gotten older and just don't care. Like, have it.
Yeah, take it.
You won. You got it.
Yeah. Keep it moving.
Just you have fun with that. I've learned more and more to just lose, lean on the ropes. Doesn't matter. There's a saying. There's a school of thought that's like, I'd rather lose an argument than a relationship. And a lot of times in my brain, I just think that way. It's like, is this particular point worth damaging a relationship? Is it? Nah. So a lot of times I'll just lean on the ropes. Just leave it alone.
Sage advice, dude.
Just leave it alone. If you have to choose, because you can tell when you start getting into debates with your buddies and your family and stuff like that, like, you can tell when feelings are starting to get touched. And
the signs are there.
you find yourself like, at least you should start to find yourself in like, do I really want to hurt this person's feelings? Is it worth it? Just let them win. Just let that person think that they're right. Leave it alone. That or you're going to damage the relationship for no reason. So
I'm never wrong, but you're never right.
yeah, that sort of thing.
It's like,
and when you really think about it, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter who's right. It's going to change anything.
Yeah, no, I have a lot of work to do on that in my relationships in my life.
Is it really a big deal?
Is it really?
Does it really matter to just debate? And the thing is, anytime you talk to people regularly, you're going to run into those situations regardless.
Of course.
About the most minor things. When you really think about, like, is it really worth debating that? Is it really worth debating if the Xbox is better than the other thing and start getting feelings and your PlayStation is terrible?
Well, we do it too.
It boils down to those
we do
little
it too
things.
while
It's
we're
like,
working, man. It's like, we have differing opinions on certain things, and sometimes we'll just be like, yeah, no, that's fine. It's fine. Just leave it.
it doesn't really matter.
Leave it,
Like,
man.
It
Just
doesn't.
leave it.
It doesn't.
That's good.
It's not a right or wrong. It's not
Yeah.
well, I was right about that point,
Yeah, so who cares? Even if you are, it's like, okay, next.
Have fun with that.
Moving on.
Have fun with that. I always joke, and it's like, when it comes to positions and little things of pride. It's like the next time you go pay your mortgage, go ahead and tell them I don't got the money, but I was right about that point last week. So
I'll tell you what, that's got to be worth something.
like, what really matters? Like, what matters? Is your life better? Is your kid better off because you made a better point about an Xbox? And the Xbox is just an example. Insert whatever you care about in there. Because people will argue about football teams, about cars, about, Honda's better than Toyota. And I heard all kinds of arguments in my life. And I've seen people just get really hurt and offend their friends. It just goes, because you're an idiot. You like Corvette? I like Mustang better. Like,
yeah, you take a position with a brand that could care less about you.
Yeah, no, do you even like?
You know what I mean?
It's like open up your Robinhood account. Your
right.
Open up your stock app. Do you even have stock?
Do you even have stock in Nike? Because man, you were
like,
rocking that.
Like, come on, man. Like, what are you that upset about? Like, you talk about some. I see it in the sport teams. I mean, some people don't take it that serious. Some people do, but the whole we thing, we. It's like, but is it really we?
Oh, you talking about if I'm talking about the Washington football team,
yeah, like you guys suck, and then you take that home. Like, if I really suck, like I do, because he said you guys, and we whooped your butt yesterday.
Yeah,
like
we.
Like, all right, funny. I don't remember the coach throwing you the ball a single time or whatever. Nobody said you run that play. Like,
that's funny, man. Yeah, and it's all good, dude. And like you said, we've talked about it recently on some shows. It's like, it's not for us to judge what you are passionate about and what you get upset about. You know what I mean? And that's all good.
I'm from the side of just love people a little more, dude. All you need is love. That's it. Like,
that's right.
It's easy.
All
man.
you need is love.
And stop.
And just listen. Just listen a little bit. Just do a little listening.
Yeah,
from the other side.
Every argument's
you don't
not
have to
the
agree,
end of the world.
but just maybe listen a little bit. You might learn something.
This is even more important to you single men out there.
Uh-oh.
It's more important, man. You don't need to win every single argument. Girls too, y'all don't need to win every single argument either.
Married men, you don't need to win every single.
Nah, that's I have a whole different thing for married couples. When it comes to married, no, it's 50-50, man. I don't believe this. Look, I don't believe this happy wife, happy life thing.
How does it change from being you're dating to married? Now
because
all
when
of a
you're
sudden it's flops.
Because you're dating, I think there's you're still getting to know each other. There's still there's a level of trying to impress each other, whatever. There's still like an advertising stage. So you'll concede to her if she's wrong. A little bit,
okay.
right? A little more, right?
Okay.
And I'm not saying you don't concede when you're married, but I think this whole happy wife, happy life, whoever came up with that nonsense,
you love that slogan.
I hate that slogan.
I know. I'm just messing with you.
It's not correct. It's not. That's not a healthy marriage. I don't believe this whole happy wife, happy life. That's not healthy at all.
What's the opposite of that? We got to come up with one.
I said it's happy family is what that is. There is no happy wife, happy life.
Happy man. Yes, you can. I don't know. I'm trying to come up with one.
No, man. Treat each other with respect. One person's feelings is not more important than the other, man. One person's wants is not more important than the other. I don't care who brings more money to the house. In our house, my parents raised me this way, and I do it in this house. In our house, nobody has anything. Everything is everybody's. So there is no daddy's car, mom's car. That's our car. There is no dad's house, mom's house. That's our house. There is no dad's TV. That's our TV. That's how it is.
Yeah, of course.
I joke around like the United States is democratic. This house is socialist. No one has anything. We all have everything. That's just the way it is.
And everybody has a job, and if they don't do that job, we will
everybody contributes,
cut your head
man.
off.
There's not a single person. The baby's not more important than Hector. Hector's not more important than Annalise. I'm not more important than Joyce. There are times where, here's the thing. In my house, for the most part, I want to say I have the last word, but it's not. I don't want to make it sound harsh because that typically sounds harsh. I bear the responsibility more. I shoulder that. I shoulder that of the family. In terms of the well-being of the family, I kind of shoulder that on an emotional level. I feel like I'm super responsible. I'm sure my wife feels the same way. But in my head, I feel the responsibility of like, man, whatever goes wrong or right, it's like I have to make sure things go. And if it goes wrong, I don't go blaming everybody else. I shoulder, like, I start thinking, what could I have done to help that situation? What could I have done to mitigate that? And maybe my wife feels the same exact way about that, but just this how I process it. But that is not to say that that the man just ignores the woman at all. It's like we believe like that, like man is the head of the household and woman is the neck, that sort of thing. Like it's like there is a way to do things. There's a way of respect, and you don't have to just dominate. And I think people a lot of times feel that way, like. It's an old school way of thinking where like the man is the one that runs thing and that's it. Nah, man. It's 50-50, 100%. It's 50-50. Not a one thing. At least I find that creates problems when you start saying the man is that's it, the end all be all. It's not the way it is. It's not the way it is religiously either. If you want submission, which is on both sides of the fence. Man submits to woman, woman submits to man. You have to serve. You have to earn that. You serve each other. There is no submission on either side of the fence if you don't serve one another. That's it. Don't expect it. There's a Cosby episode about that. There is. If you want your wife to serve you, or if you want your husband to serve the wife, or whatever, vice versa, you have to serve each other. That's it. But that's just simple reciprocation, right?
Yeah,
that's all that is.
If I've ever needed my wife to serve me in any way, really. I mean, we just joined forces.
We're all in service of each other, not serving the literal sense of like I'm going to give you a plate of food and stuff like that. But we're all in service of each other.
I know what you're saying. That's what I'm saying.
We're all having each other's backs. That's what that is. There's a gift there. There's a big gift in listening to each other. That's people look at the word submission like if you lose your like if you lose autonomy, like if you lose pride. Sometimes submission is as simple as just if you ask me, hey, can you pass me that, and just here you go, you're welcome. That's an act of submission. That's an act of humility. We inject ego into a lot of things. We go back to the same thing about saying we always got to be right about stuff. It's ego. It's like, nah, I got to have the last word. I got to be the one to make that decision. And I need everybody else to know that I made that decision. I need everybody else to know and applaud that I made that decision. But when things go bad, I don't want the credit, right? You got to take it all, both sides. But if you support each other, these things are shouldn't be an issue.
I'm with it. Thank you for that.
That's how things happen in my house.
Yeah.
You do how you want in your house, people.
Of course, man. Of course.
It has worked for me for 10 years, almost. It has worked for my parents for, if I'm 35, then 37, 38 years, something like that. But who knows? Maybe it works completely different somewhere else. Chime in below. Hit the like button. Hit the notification. Get that ding. Whatever the heck it's called.
Yeah, ring that bell, baby. Ring that bell. Did you just
Kobe.
make that?
I
In
made
the
that.
dark, dude. In the
It will
dark.
forever and always be Kobe.
It really is, man. Kobe.
It will always be Kobe. It was never Jordan, which is weird.
No, Jordan.
It was never
Nah,
Jordan. It was always
It
Kobe.
was Kobe.
It was Kobe.
You know what's funny? I feel like that didn't that start in the gaming world?
Mm-hmm.
It started in the gaming world, and now it's gone to everything.
Well,
Every
kids
time.
for sure.
It was a
it's
kids
like,
thing.
It's like around the same time where I
Kobe.
played basketball outside.
Yeah,
It was Kobe.
that's awesome, man.
You take certain shots or whatever.
Man, I just saw a great clip of him from like a year ago. LeBron was playing in L.A. and Kobe's on the courtside seats and gets up and they were laughing about something, and he comes over and daps him up and they're cracking up and laughing at each other. I'm like, wow,
2020 has been crazy.
What a year, man! It
the
has
list
been.
of people. It started with him.
Yeah,
He was the first, right?
yeah. There was like March.
It was
Or
like a little.
April?
It was before
February,
COVID.
April?
It was
I can't
before
remember.
COVID. It was like him, then COVID.
I remember that day. We were
sitting right here.
We were right here.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, man.
And it's just certain people in your life. Now, I say in your life. There's certain people in life, right, that you do feel a little bit of a connection to, because you kind of. He was more of around our age group.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when we were growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Michael was older than us. We really saw, like, to be honest, like we could say we're fans of Mike, but we weren't that old to see him like and really appreciate it and be watching the games all the time like that. Like,
Well, as an adult,
Mike,
yeah.
but like, it's different. Kobe, we were already like at an age where it's like you could be a little more in tune with sports for yourself.
Yeah,
you weren't
sure.
being told about it. Like,
Yeah.
Mike was a little more like our parents' age, with like kind of they grew up with Mike and we grew up with Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the kids today, they're always gonna say LeBron was the greatest,
Yeah.
and rightfully so. That dude's an animal. He's great on the court.
Mm.
He needs to be a little tougher. All these faking and you barely pass a thing and he's already on the ground.
Oh,
Like,
that's
you
just
wave near him.
Dude,
Like,
that's
the sport
that's
today,
the
right?
NBA in 2020, dude.
flopping.
That's just what it is, dude.
All
You
that
gotta have some acting classes to be drafted
I
into the
blame
NBA.
soccer for that. They do that. That's part of
Soccer's
soccer.
bad.
That's part of soccer.
That is part. It's like fighting is part of hockey. There's flopping is part of soccer. Like for real,
That's crazy.
dude. Key and Peele had a great skit on that. Have you seen this?
On flopping?
Oh, dude, Jordan Peele is a soccer player that gets quote unquote hurt in a match, and it just goes in this beautiful cinematic, like dogmatic. This horrific with the the strings and it's so great. The celestial choir and dude, it's so funny, man. Oh, anyway, stop flopping.
Stop flopping.
Get a Bissell.
Get a Bissell.
Never lose suction at the hose. I'll never forget that one, man.
Yeah,
Dude was sucking bowling balls up.
So like marbles and stuff. Yeah, it's like big old lead.
Like literally, dude had a 14-pound bowling ball. It was like, and just picked it up. I was like, I gotta get that. My carpets, they're gonna get destroyed with that thing.
Okay. Bissell destroying carpets since 1970.
I'm going to try out the new Bissell today. I'm excited about it. I'm going right now to go do that. I'm gonna go do it.
All right. Well.
Yeah, man. I'm Matt.
This is Tony.
And this is the Tsunami Podcast, sponsored by Bissell. No, that'd be great though. Send us a Bissell. Send us the new Bissell. Come on, we need it for the office.